Capricorn, the first card you have for your past is the Lovers. So yeah, sometimes this can be about decisions. It can be about spirituality. One person being more interested than the other one. All sorts of different things. I'm seeing. I'm actually feeling I'm just seeing it as it is. Really, I'm seeing this very, very literally. The Lovers card. It's just that. That's what I'm seeing. There's a powerful, powerful connection between you and someone else. Obviously, I think this is either someone who you've just started a new relationship with, or you had at this time, or it might be that you're just talking to someone, just getting to know someone. There was a definite, really, really deep connection between you and this person, and you're both feeling this really, really deeply. And it was almost as if you felt that you already knew them when you were first talking to them. It was just that kind of instant connection. That's what I'm seeing. And I think that maybe they've been more forward than you in this relationship. I think they might have been the first one to pursue you before you actually connected properly. And there might have even been a few people around you who were interested in you at the same time when you were first around them, when you first met them. I think you might have had to make a choice, but I think you went with your heart. You definitely went with your heart. There's a lot of passion here as well, which is fantastic. And, obviously this happens in the early days. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm seeing early days in a relationship, but hopefully this will continue on later on as well. I hope it does for you. But yeah, definitely this happens in the early days. So yeah, this is a beautiful card for you. This is really fantastic. I'm not seeing any negativity in that at all for you. The next card you have for your past is the Queen of Cups. So yeah, you're an intuitive person. The Queen of Cups is obviously very emotional, very intuitive. She's in touch with her emotions, and you're like that. And I think that's probably why you knew that this was who you wanted straight away. You knew that. You just went with your heart, you followed your instincts, and that's what happened, and it worked out very well for you. Now, I think I think at this time you had to try to steer your mind and your imagination and your feelings and your emotions back to reality. Wasn't like you're out of reality, but it was a little bit like your love, you're kind of in all this love world, you're kind of wrapped up in this person, and you kind of the thing is, you had all these feelings, all these emotions for this person. You're also really, really busy at this time as well. I mean, you're always busy. I see that in your readings all the time. You're a hard worker. But I think that I'll try and tell you what I'm seeing. I know sorry if this is a bit confusing. Hopefully this will make sense. I think for a long time you might have resisted getting into any relationship at all, even though I think this is what your heart truly wanted, because I think you just didn't want to lose control of your emotions. You wanted to be able to concentrate properly on everything that you needed to do. You're a busy person. You didn't want to end up like this queen, staring into a cup all day, oblivious to whatever's happening around her, in kind of love land. So I think you knew that if you let yourself fall, you might end up like this queen, and you didn't want to do that. So, what happened was you did let yourself fall. You couldn't help it. You couldn't resist the pull of this person. They were like a magnet to you. But yes, there was some sort of battle, I think, going on between thinking about the person all the time and getting things done. And it's really unlike you. You're such a hard worker. You love your work. It's a part of you. But you really had to try to tame your feelings and put them to one side so that you could get all of your work done that you needed to do. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, the last card you have your past is the Five of Cups. So I think there was someone else. There was someone else who I think wanted to reach out to you. I think they were thinking about you. They were thinking about reaching out to you. I just think they might have been, in a mess, actually, really, really down. And I think they wanted to reach out to you, but they didn't want you to see them like that, in this kind of state of being a big mess and being really upset. I think they wanted to walk over this bridge. They wanted to walk over this bridge and talk to you. I think this could be a friend, actually, because I am seeing some kind of argument that you had, some kind of misunderstanding. I think it was more of an argument. I think some words were said. And I think this all happened when you're out somewhere with them. Now, I don't know if you were both drinking at the time, or if they were drinking, but I think something was said. They said something, and it wasn't in character. It really wasn't anything like anything they'd ever normally say, but they said whatever this was to you, and it really, really hurt you. Now, yeah, they might have been drinking because there are spilled cups all over this, or they might have been even taking something harder, some other hard drugs or something like that. But I think, they were going through some very, very deep emotions as well, emotional problems, and maybe that's what made them turn to these things. But they weren't sharing these emotional problems with you. And I think if you knew that they had these emotional problems, you would have tried to have helped them. You would have wanted to help them, I'm trying to say. Because, you're the sort of person who you'd really help anyone, especially a friend. But you just didn't know. You didn't know what was behind this behaviour. And you might not ever know, actually, what their real problem was, because I think if they do eventually contact you again, and I think they might eventually, because they wanted to at this time, if they do contact you, I think they'll make sure that they've gotten themselves together first. I think they're quite a proud person, and I think the way that they behaved really, really affected them and upset them. They didn't want to act in this crazy way around people. So it really kind of shattered their confidence, and they really wanted to kind of almost go into hibernation. But yeah, if they're going to contact you, they're going to get themselves together first. They're going to look better because they're a proud person, and they're not going to want you to see this side of them. You've already seen them in a bad state, and they want to make sure they're better, and they can say, look, I'm better now, before they come and speak to you. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your present is the King of Wands. Yeah, I think I'm seeing you trying to organise something. And I think another friend of yours was involved in this organising of whatever this was. Not this friend in the Five of Cups. I think this is another person. Now, I think I'm seeing you organising this event. I'm seeing this is something that needs a lot of concentration, a lot of attention to detail. It's like if one thing goes wrong, it has the potential to, make everything go wrong, or make you embarrassed or look crazy. So there was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of pressure on you to make sure everything was right. If this has already happened, this is in the present. So, yeah, and I think this is something work related. I think, but as with everything that's work related, it's more than just work for you. This is something, everything rides on your reputation. You're very, very protective of your reputation. So with this event, your reputation's riding on that. And I think you're worried that if things go wrong, all eyes are going to be on you, of course. So I think this is probably why you had to really work to get yourself out of this kind of emotional Queen of Cups mode, because you had to really, really, really concentrate, and you had to force yourself to concentrate on this thing. This was a very important thing for you. Okay, so if this event hasn't happened yet, this is at the present, so it might have just happened, might not have happened yet, or it might be happening now. Yeah, you might not want to hear this, but I think that I think this friend who's working with you on this might turn out to be a bit unreliable. They might not even turn up at all to help you with this. So just be aware of that if this hasn't happened already. I don't want to make you upset or worried. I am just seeing you being very disappointed in them, and I'm seeing you having to do a lot of their work yourself. Or something like that. So if this resonates, I think this might be a warning to you to watch out for that. And I think, I think maybe you should try to have someone else help you with things as well, someone who you know you can rely on. I think whoever this other person is that you get, they probably won't be understand what they need to do. I think this other friend, you kind of told them everything they needed to do and they were ready, but they kind of flaked out or disappeared on you. So this new person, if you get them to help you, and I think that you should, they'll be reliable, they'll be helpful, but they won't understand everything they need to do because this will all be new to them. So they won't be able to jump in and do things quickly, but at least you'll have someone around you helping you. Even if they don't understand everything or how to do everything, at least you'll feel a lot better knowing that if you ask them to do things, they'll do their best. They'll genuinely want to help you. And I think you'll feel less resentful and less stressed over this other person if you have this new person helping you. That's what I'm seeing. So if you know who this is, if this is all resonating with you, and you know who this second person might be that you can rely on, ask them now if you haven't done this event yet. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your present is the Sun. So yeah, if you're worried about this and how this is all going to turn out, you have the Sun card. So this is all going to go well. This event is going to go really well. On the surface, everything's going to look as if it's running smoothly. Nobody's going to know that this person disappeared or you had all these problems kind of happening behind the scenes. Now, yeah, even though this is still going to be a lot of extra work for you, I think you are going to be happy with the result. And I think you'll be really, really happy and really, really relieved when this is all finished. You're going to be saying, oh, I'm free of this. It's finally over. I'm so happy it's over. I'm finally free of this whole thing. A bit like the child on this horse that's really free and happy and, oh, finally I've broken through this wall and I'm happy. So that's how you're going to be feeling. So if you're stressed about this now, just know that when this is all finished, it's all going to look like, at least look like, everything was running smoothly with this. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is that I'm seeing you wanting to get clarity about something, because the Sun can be about illuminating things, seeing things clearly, things coming into the light and all that kind of thing. So I think this is what you're going to want to do. I think you're going to want to find out what was going on with this friend. This is after this is all done. Who was supposed to be helping you. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to find out exactly what happened. At least not in the beginning. You might eventually, but I think, I don't think you will. I don't think that they're going to even want to have a conversation with you, actually. I know that sounds harsh, but that's what I'm seeing. I think you will eventually come to some kind of conclusion about this yourself, but I think you'll do this on your own. I don't think they're going to help you out. I don't think they're going to answer you. That's what I'm seeing. So, yeah, you're just going to have to find this out on your own, if at all. So that shows me what they're like. Yeah, that sounds harsh, but that's what I'm seeing. So yeah, the last card you have for your present is the Two of Swords. So yeah, again, look at this. I don't think this friend, or maybe they're an ex-friend by now, I hope they are, I don't think they're going to open up to you. I don't think they're going to tell you what happened, what went wrong, why they were so unreliable. They might not even want to talk to you at all. Like the woman on this card who doesn't want to see, she doesn't want to hear, she has a blindfold on, she has her arms crossed in front of her, doing a big no, a big cross. So I think you might even end up losing this friend, because I'm actually seeing someone wanting to run away from all of this and not face up to what's happened. They're a bit childish, I think. A bit like the child in the Sun card who has no responsibilities. That's how they're going to be. Someone who has no responsibilities. They're going to run away. So I think you might try a few times to talk to them, because I think, you do like to see the best side in people. You like to imagine that people mean the best. But, if you're being knocked back or ignored over and over again when you're trying to speak to someone, just move on. Don't chase a coward. Just let them run. And I think this person is a coward. they're childish. Just let them run away. Don't chase them. You have some great people in your life. You have some people who deserve your attention. And I know it can be bewildering, confusing, and really, really horrible when someone treats you like this, but try to move on as quickly as you possibly can. You found out who they truly are, and ultimately, this is a good thing if this is all resonating. You know who they are now. You're not going to trust them with anything else. You're not going to ask them to do anything else. And if they're running away, they're not going to be in your life anymore. And I know it feels bad right now if you're going through this. This is a good thing that you're not going to have them in your life anymore. And I sound really horrible and harsh, but I can really see what this person's like. So the first card you have for your future is the Knight of Cups. So yeah, I'm just getting this feeling of you just wanting to rest at this time. Like this horse has come up to, there's a little river in here. You can't see it in this card because it's covered over, but there's a little river and this horse is coming up to the river and it's stopping in front of the river. So it's like it's having a little rest stop, having a little drink before it goes on its journey. So I think at this time, you're going to just want to have a bit of a rest. And it's not like you at all. You're usually working on something. But I think, the exhaustion of this event that I see in the King of Wands, as well as this drama around all of this and this so-called friend, I think it's just going to make you want to have a rest for a while. And that's absolutely fine, of course. I think your mind's going to be active, full of ideas, because it always is. Your mind's never still. But you won't be ready to take action on any of these ideas or anything like that for a while. You'll still be doing your usual work and everything else that you have to do, but nothing big is going to be coming from you at this time. You're just going to be in kind of rest mode. It's a bit like the calm after the storm. You'll bounce back again and you're not feeling down or bad or whatever. I think you probably are feeling a little bit bad or down because of the way these friends treated you, but you're just having a kind of just a rest, and this is what you really need. I am seeing a lot of creative ideas coming to you at this time, so just write them down somewhere when they come to you. Don't forget them. Write them on your phone, on a notepad, or whatever, because I think all ideas become useful at some time. They all come to us for a reason. So if you can't think of a reason why you're getting these ideas now, at this time in the future, it'll come to you at some other time. You'll say, oh, I know where I can use that on this, that kind of thing. So write them all down. Don't forget all your ideas. The next card you have for your future is the Seven of Cups. So I think that as you get some more time away from this event and this ex-friend, hopefully they're an ex-friend by now, but as you get some distance from this, you're going to realize that, you thought you knew this person, but what you thought you knew obviously wasn't based on any kind of reality. And I think they might have given you a false impression of what they were capable of as well. I just keep on seeing someone telling you or convincing you that they knew certain people or they had certain skills or they were experienced in this or whatever. And they're either exaggerating or they didn't have any skills at all or whatever. And when the time came to face the music, they just ran away. So again, I won't say what I don't know. Do you remember that old episode of Friends? You probably don't watch it. I don't know, whatever. But there's an old episode of Friends when Joey was he was doing an audition and he had to pretend that he could dance and he couldn't dance, and then he did this kind of crazy dance, and then when they said, okay, you explain to everyone what to do, how to do this dance, and then he kind of ran away. I'm laughing. I know this is a very serious situation with this friend, but this is what they're doing. They're pretending they could do this. They were like, oh, I can do that. I know that. Oh, I'll help you. I know what I'm doing. It was just all lies. And then when it came to the time that they actually have to face the music, they ran away. So, again, if you're still chasing this person for answers or you're still trying to find out what happened, even if they do talk to you, I don't think they're ever going to tell you the truth, sadly. So just walk away. Just walk away. Don't look back. Don't look back. That's what I think anyway. I mean, it's up to you, of course, if you want to keep on chasing to find out what's going to happen. But I don't think they're going to tell you the truth. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your future is the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, I think this kind of mental break that I'm seeing in the Knight of Cups, I think this is going to give you some time, give you some distance from something else that you've been working on. I am seeing a project. You've always got a lot of projects going on. You're a very busy person. But this is a specific thing, and I think you've been working on this thing for a while now, actually. I think you might have started this last year. Now, this is to do with work, obviously, but it's also personal for you, like everything is to do with work. And yeah, your identity is always tied in some way with your work. I always see that in your readings. And I think this is probably one of the reasons why you really took what this friend did to heart, because it wasn't just the fact that they were dishonest, and that was bad enough, but it was the fact that they didn't seem to care about your reputation that means so much to you. But you know, a lot of people don't see work in the same way that you do, and that's no excuse, but this is just what I'm seeing. But yes, I think that this is going to be a time of looking back over this project and maybe reassessing things. You know, the man on this card, he's looking over this crop that he's grown, and he's looking over what he's planted, and there are coins all over this tree next to him. But there's only one coin in front of him, and I'll just lift that up so you can see. There's a little coin just in front of him, but there's a lot on the tree. So, obviously you've been working very hard at this project, but maybe you've been putting a lot of effort into one area, but not enough into another area. Or it might be that, you've been working on the easier bits, the parts that don't take you much time, but you've been kind of ignoring the more difficult things. It might be something like that. It's some kind of imbalance in this project, and you're kind of looking back and you're seeing that imbalance at this time, and you think, well, maybe I need to readjust this, I need to fix this. So I think you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to see whatever's going on, whatever's wrong with this, and you're going to be able to correct this. You're such a hard worker, and that's why I always see a lot of work things in your readings. But yeah, remember to have more breaks like this, because I think this one's really forced you to see a lot of things that you weren't seeing when you were kind of in your usual busy state. I think if you just had your head down constantly and you're busy like you normally are, you wouldn't have been able to look back and seen all of these things that you needed to change in this project. That's what I'm seeing.